started. So good morning. Okay, so let's come on to our backs. Little shavasana, not a full-on rest like we'll take at the end of our class today, but take it for the pose that it is. It's a wonderful posture of alignment when you lie on your back. You can keep your eyes open if you'd like, and really just embrace the physical aspect of this posture. It would be it would require quite a bit of strength, really, to take this exact shape and put it into a standing pose. So it's kind of funny how hard it can be to mimic this kind of alignment without the support of the floor. So it's good information to give the body, right? Let the feet relax, let the toes kind of soften, the fingers will curl a little bit. And you can feel the wave, almost like a wave-like sensation in your spine with your breath. So as you breathe, kind of feel the air coming all the way up, and then exhaling, of course, letting that little ripple go back down. And I do, ask you to feel that. Give yourself that opportunity to feel that little bit of breathing in this stillness. This begins the yoga practice. It's really, I think it's just great to take a class and kind of not know what to expect and really just do the best that you can with what is delivered to you. This is all given to you. Obviously, what you do with it is what you're going to do with it, but I ask that you really embrace every movement and every little shape that we take, as that will be your practice and your discipline for today. I love going to yoga classes and being told what to do. It's just a good way to practice. So that said, let's bring the right knee into the chest. Good. And reach for it with your hands and pull the knee in towards the shoulder a bit. And as the right knee comes towards the right shoulder, slide your left heel a little bit more forward down your mat. So you're getting a little bit more engagement into your left leg. Don't let it bend. As you pull the right knee in, it becomes a fairly decent stretch into the right hip, into that little pinching feeling into your right hip as well. Very nice. And then go to the other side. Relax the right leg, pull the left leg in, and give it a little pull, interlace your fingers, kind of find your little sweet spot, taking it out to the sides of the ribs a bit without rolling to your left. And then flex your right foot, pressing your right leg down into the ground. Get a little bit of space into the top of the right leg. Good. And now place the left foot down and bring the right foot next to it. So your both feet are flat on the floor. Let's take our hands behind our head, interlace our fingers, curl your tail under a bit. So don't let your back arch. So I want you to feel like you're getting ready to do a bridge pose, but instead I want you to take a crunch. Lift your chest and your shoulders up, and then come back down. Again, keep that tail tucked to lift up and down. And we'll take several more of these, starting to bring a little attention to the belly, seeing if you can get your shoulder blades up off the floor. Okay, your elbows stay wide. Really, it's a squeezing deep into the belly, a little burn into the core. Really is a fantastic way to get your practice started. Good, let's take 3 more of these. Again, keep your back flat. That will protect it and give you the most you can out of your belly muscles. Very nice. And then come back down, take your arms by your sides, and lift your legs up into the air. So now your back is flat, right? It has to be with the legs in the air, and that's by design. You want to keep it that way. Flex your right foot and slowly lower it down until it almost touches the floor. Keep the belly pressed in, and then lift the leg back up. Nice. And then left leg flex. Reach through your left heel, lower the left leg down. Nice and slow, almost touches the floor. Bring it back up. Very nice. Now let's take our both legs, lower our both legs down. It might go down, not go down all the way. Maybe your back just does not want that. and then slowly bring it back up. That's actually quite strong core work. Let's do it again. Right leg goes down. Nice. Keep your chin somewhat tucked. Don't start looking behind you. Lift the leg up. Left leg goes down. It's slower than you want. That's the point. Lift your left leg up. And then here we go. Your both legs go down, keeping the back nice and flat. And then slowly lifting the legs up. One more time. Right leg goes down. Nice. Lift it back up. Left leg goes down. Good. Keep the foot flexed. Lift it back up. And now your both legs. Almost reach through your tail. Get your legs longer as they get a little lower to the floor. And then slowly bring your legs back up. Nice. Bend your knees. Place your feet back down on the floor. Dynamic bridges. Arms by your side. Lift your hips and lift your arms up over your head. Start to stretch out into the front part of the pelvis. And then lower back down. Nice. And again, lift back up. And lower back down. One more. Push down, lift your hips. Reach your arms way up over your head. Press the backs of your hands into the floor. And then slowly lower down to the ground. Good. Pick up your right leg. So your right leg is kind of at this reverse table position. Once again, taking your hands behind your head, we're going to crunch up towards the right into the oblique and back down. Let's take 10 of these. Working into the side core, lifting your chest up a bit, a little squeeze, little burn, little flush really to your digestive system. Abdominal work is just so good. Beyond strengthening and flattening the belly, lots and lots of good benefits to your organs, your abdominal organs. Let's take 3 more of these. One, over to the right, squeezing into your right oblique. Oblique work is good for stabilization of the spine. And then release, place the foot down. Take a breath here, lift your left leg up, left foot flexed. Here we go, last little bit, lift up and crunch to the left. Good. As if you're trying to bring your right armpit to the inside of your left knee. Squeezing your belly as you lift up. Good. And coming across the diagonal. Very nice. Keep breathing. 3 more of these. Yeah. Good. 2 more. Lift up, squeeze. Last one. Bring it in. And then release. Left foot comes down on the ground. Bring your both knees into your chest. Flatten your back just a bit. Take little egg beaters with your knees. Just little circles, right? So now just little gentle awakening up of the hips, keeping the back flat. It's nice to do some floor work for a change. Okay, to get rotation, take it the other way. Circles. I kind of wish your arms were longer with this one, but there you have it. All right, getting the legs in and out. Little tiny bit for 3. Good. 2. Very nice. And 1. Good. Place the feet back down on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Walk your left foot to the left side of your mat and drop your knees over to the right. So give yourself a little spine twist and a nice IT band stretch on the left side. Now extend your left arm to the left. Press your left shoulder a bit into the ground and just let the gravity and the right, the legs kind of take you into this little position. It's a good little internal stretch for the left hip, which is a good thing to have. And it's just good to stretch out the obliques and a little bit of belly work after the belly work here. 1 more breath. Take this, very nice. And then come up and switch sides. So place your right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Cross your left ankle on the outside of the right thigh. And then very gently bring the knees over to the left. Good. Turn your head to the right and reach a bit through your right fingertips, keeping your right arm down on the ground. Nice little twist into our spine. Really, really a good little stretch back there in your QL muscles as well. Right, give this a little bit of breath. We take this, nice. And then come back up. All right, bring both knees into your chest. Very nice. Hold underneath your knees and roll yourself up to a seat. So I'm going to sit on my heels. If you'd like to sit cross-legged, that's perfectly okay. However it is, you like to sit, right, your yoga seat here. Let's reach our arms up over our head. Big inhale here. Place your right hand down on the floor and lean over to the right. So taking a side bend now into the spine. Press your left hip down into your left heel and lift your left rib cage up towards the ceiling. Reach strong through your left arm as you do so. Very, very nice. One more breath here. And then as you come up, place your left arm on top of your right arm for eagle arms. And if it's the other way around, don't worry about it. Here we go. Lift your arms and your elbows up. Look up towards the ceiling. Make this an inhale. And then exhale. Pull the elbows in towards your chest and strap your head. I don't want you to lean too far forward. Just stretch out your neck. Inhale, breathing. Lift up. Lift the arms and the elbows. Exhale, breathing. And then pull it down and in. Let's do one more. Inhale, breathing. Lift up. Way to open up your shoulders a bit. Exhale, breathing. And take it down. Nice. Inhale, undo your eagle arms. Stretch them up over your head. And now come over to your left. So place your left hand on the floor in line with your left hip and tilt your body over to the left. So you can bend your left elbow a bit if you'd like, but drop the right hip back down. That's going to make the stretch a little bit more sweeter on the right side of your body. A little bit of length there. Keep the belly pulled in. If you want, you can look up at your right hand. Good. And now come up. This time take your right arm on top of the left. Elbows bend. Come into your inverted prayer here. Very nice. 3 more. Inhale, breathing. A little bit like cats and cows with a little arm element. Exhale, breathing. Pull it in. Nice. Inhale, breathing, lift it up. Exhale, breathing, and squeeze it down. Very good. One more. Inhale, breathing. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, breathing. Reach your arms up over your head. And exhale, regardless of where your legs are, you're just going to take a little forward fold. So put your hands down somewhere out on the floor in front of you and go down as far as you can go down. All right, so maybe you have to hold yourself up with your hands a bit. Maybe you can come all the way down again. You're just going to find whatever space you can get into your back. Perhaps your hips a little bit more the sides of your legs. Let your head hang as you do so that you're getting a little bit more into your upper back. Support yourself with your arms if that's relative, if that's necessary for you. Take one more breath here. Good. And then very gently bring yourself on up. Okay, let's come onto our hands and our knees now. So place your hands out on the mat in front of you. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Good. And we're going to thread the needle. So take the right arm, reach it up into a little twist. And now take the right arm underneath the left, slide it all the way forward and drop down into your right shoulder. Position your left hand where it's going to feel most supportive. I like to slide my hand up about a foot and then push into the left hand a bit, bringing a little bit more weight into my right shoulder. Make sure the palm of your right hand is facing up. As you do this, let's lift the left leg up into the air. So extending your left leg, reaching it up behind you, so you're getting a little bit of a challenge to a balance here. Real nice stretch though for the lats and to the upper trapezius on the right side of your body. Very nice. One more breath here. Good. And then bring your left knee back down on the floor. Good. Press into your left hand. Release the pose, reaching your right arm all the way up once again. And then release the right hand down. Good. Other side, left arm. Lift up, reach up. Good. And thread the needle. Take your time with this, okay? You do want to get as much weight onto the arm and the shoulder more so than the head. Keeping your hips as best as you can over your knees. There's a lot going on in this posture. You just want to make sure your neck is not vulnerable. When you're ready, if you're ready, you can pick up your right leg. See if you can extend the legs. Get some extension of the legs now. Pressing through the bottom of the foot as you negotiate the balance in the upper part of the body, twisting the spine. One more breath here. Nice. And then release the right knee down. Again, press into your right hand and come out of the pose. Extend the left arm back up. Very nice. Take your left hand down. Walk towards the back of your mat. Just a little tiny bit. Anahata. So keeping your hips over your knees, walk your hands to the front corners of the mat, and then drop your head and your chest down towards the floor. See if you can keep your arms fully extended. As if you're, can almost feel like a stretch in your armpits. Maybe the crown of the head comes down to the floor. This is quite a strong posture. It's wonderful for your upper back. Let the tail stick up. Don't be afraid of that. And let the heart soften, almost melt down. Giving yourself a little bit more space into your chest, into your sternum, front upper part of the chest. Good. One more breath here. And now keep your hands where they are. Start to lift yourself up and take your hips all the way down and forward, coming into a little seal pose. If your hips don't comfortably come to the ground, walk your hands a little bit more forward, right? If you take your hands a little bit more out in front of you, that'll give you a little bit more space. It's a pretty deep pose here, so make sure it's working for you. If you need to, you can place your elbows on the floor into like more of a Sphinx position. Keep your shoulders away from your ears as you lift your chest up, reach and extend through your legs. Very nice. One more breath here. Fantastic way of waking up our backs. And then slowly lower down. Good. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Push yourselves back up to your hands and your knees. Roll through a few cats and cows. I'm going to start with the cat because that's so sweet after that backward bending. And then you can let the belly come down into your cat. Yeah. And a couple more of these, or into your cow, I should say. So rippling along through the spine. Right? A little slow. See if you can bring some attention to the upper part of the chest when you come to your cow stretch. Very nice. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's push back up to a kneeling position here. Right. Take your right foot and step it up to the front of the mat. Right. Place your right hand on your right thigh and kind of push the thigh a little forward as you lean back a little bit, dropping down and stretching into your left hip. Reach your left arm up, reach your right arm up. Coming into your low lunge. Lift up through your side body. Get well grounded and strong into your lower body. Good. Reach out through your fingertips. You can lean your arms back a little tiny bit as you get a little expressive into your pose here. Let the arms drop down behind you and interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles back. So you're getting a lot more happening now into the chest, into the shoulders, and into the deltoids. A little bit of a backward bend. You can drop your head back a little bit, look up at the ceiling. Very nice. Release the grip. Take your hands on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot a little out to the right and drop down into a little bit of a lizardy lunge thing here. Good. We're not going to be here terribly long, but do surrender your hips. Allow the hips to drop down, putting weight into the right hip. Front part of your left thigh. Make sure you're breathing. Good. Nice. All right, lean into your hands. All right. Tuck your left toes under. Lift your left knee up so you're in this kind of modified runner's lunge. You have your arms on the inside part of your right leg. Actually press your right knee into your right shoulder, lift your left quad up, and let your hips drop down a little bit. Very strong posture. And then we'll take this to a wide-legged fold. So start straightening your legs, turn yourself over to the left, and drop your head and your chest down. Working into your inner thigh, lifting your tailbone up into the air. Walk over to your left leg and give it a little bit of a hug. So reaching with your hands towards the leg, as low as you can go. Try and square your chest towards the knee or the leg, and then pull yourself in a little tiny bit. Firm up your legs. Getting more deeper now into the lats, onto the right side. Hang a bit. Switch. And let's go to the other side. Walk over to your right leg and come into the twist on this side. Sweet little stretch. Doesn't have to be deep to be good, right? So see, as you get to know your body, where your limit is and what's going to work for you. How can you go deeper into this, keeping it safe and keeping it nourishing. Good. And then back to the runner's lunge. So that means turn your right toes forward, bending back into your right knee. Place your left knee back down on the floor. Take your left hand, move it way out to the left, like off of your yoga mat. Lean into the arm and pick up your right arm. So now you've got this little back bendy twist. Keep your right knee over your right ankle, and then lift up and lean back just a bit. Really get so much space into this pose. I love this expression. Downward facing dog. Place your hands back down and pick up your back knee. Take your right leg to the back of the mat and lift your tailbone up into the air. Your beautiful down dog. It feels so good after all of that. Collect your breath a bit and just envision space and length into the spine, into the muscles, into your body, right? The back side of the body, opening up, soften the head and the neck and the throat. Firm up your arm muscles a bit, firm up your leg muscles a lot. Press your heels to the floor. Get active in your downward facing dog. 3 more breaths, holding this stretch and this stillness in the body. 2 more breaths. Good, 1 more breath. Very nice. And let's place our knees back down on the floor. All right. Come back up to a kneeling position, and we'll take this on the other side. So now take your left foot and step your left leg up to the front of the mat, placing your left hand on the left thigh. Take your right arm, reach it up. Good. Keep your hips forward. Take your left arm up now. Engage the muscles of your back. Telescope through your arms. Get length through your spine. Lift up. Hips drop down and forward. Very nice. Beautiful. Take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles back. Let the collarbone spread. Stay forward, though, with your lower body. Open up your heart. Reach your knuckles back. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. Good. And then release. Place your hands down on the inside of your left leg. So a little lizard love here into your hips. I like to stay on my hands. Maybe you'll come down to your forearms. And if you have blocks or you work with props, this is a good pose in which to use it. Let your hips be a little heavy as you do this. Front part of your thigh starts to open up, but weight into your left heel. Let the body come down and into it. Very nice. Couple more breaths here. And then press flat into the palms of both hands. Press your left leg into your left arm. Tuck your right toes. Lift your right knee up. Reach your chest forward as your hips drop down. Yourself some space into your hips. And now turn to your right. Wide-legged fold. Right side here. So let's walk through our legs. Just turn your fingertips back towards your heels. Walk them all the way back through the legs, drop the head and the chest down. Nice. Use your legs to lift your tailbone up a little higher. Bend your elbows a little bit to get your chest closer to your legs. Tailbone up. Head and shoulders kind of drop down as the weight comes a little forward. Your thighs open up, so the calves. Let the head, the chest hang. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Good. One more breath. And then take your hands back under your shoulders, push into the floor, walk to your left foot, turn your left toes forward, back to the runner's lunge. Place your right knee down. Take your right hand way out to the right, way off of your mat. Lean into the arm and lift up. Keep your left knee forward. You can let your right hip drop down a bit as you peel your chest away from your left leg, opening up really across the whole front part of the torso. Well done. Downward facing dog. Take your hand down, up your back knee, and step your left leg back. Tailbone lifting up into the air. Fantastic. One breath here, and then shift forward into plank pose. So start to feel a little bit of arm stuff. Maybe you want to put your knees down on the floor as I'm demonstrating here. If you're good, you can keep your knees up. Nice. Let's lower all the way down to the ground. Good. Release the tops of your feet. Inhale, breathing, cobra pose. Lift your chest up. Very nice. Exhale, breathing, lower down, child's pose. Take extended child's pose. So keep your hands where they are. So it's a little bit more active. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Nice. Shift your body weight a little bit left and right. Let the head hang. And then here we go. Downward facing dog. Okay. So from your dog, I do want you to take your feet just a little wider, just a tiny bit wider, okay? And then come forward into plank pose. So we're gonna take like a non-stacking Vashisthasana. So just drop both heels over to the right and pick up your left arm. Flex your both feet and lift your hips up high. So your right obliques are engaging, your right tricep is pulling in, and you're opening up your chest as you reach your left arm up. Very nice. Now come back through plank and go to the other side. Drop the heels over to the other side. So you can use quite a bit of your legs in this as you reach your right arm up, squeezing into your left oblique. Well done. Opening up your chest, keep your hips high, and come back to plank pose. Very nice. Lower all the way down to the ground. Release the tops of your feet. Take your right leg, bend it. Reach for the outside of your right ankle with your right hand. Extend your left arm up over your head and place your forehead on the floor. Good. Now bring your pelvis, press that down into the ground, and start to kick the right foot back into your right hand. Lift your left arm, lift your left leg, coming into your half Dhanurasana here, opening up. Right side, a little bit of a different story into your left side. You don't have to pick up your head so much, get long through your left limbs, and keep your right leg active, kicking it back to your right hand. And then very gently release. Good. Take your right leg, now slide it out to the right. So the knee is bent, turn your head to the right for your little half froggy pose here. Let the chest relax, kind of let the heart kind of pound it out a bit as you go for a sweet little stretch into your right inner thigh. Nice. Two more breaths here. And then release and extend now your right leg. Extend your right arm. Bend your left leg. Reach for your left ankle with your left hand. Nice. Press the pelvis down. You can keep your face facing down and go. Lift up everything. Leg, other leg, arms. The whole body lifts up. It's quite a strong pose. These half Dhanurasana postures. Kicking back, but getting long through the whole right side of your body. Well done. And release. Nice. Keeping your left knee bent, slide that out to the left. Half froggy pose, turn your head to the left. And let the left inner thigh soften and open. Let the belly relax just for a few moments here. Feeling the floor. So a very earthbound practice today. Very grounded, right? It's cooler on the earth. Good practices to do on warmer days, at least for most of us. Very nice. And release. Take your left leg, extend it back. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up, and push up to plank pose, and back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up into the air, inhale, breathing. Take your right leg, extend it up, and now take the right foot and step it up in between your hands. Good. Place your left knee down, lift yourself up, low crescent lunge. Good. Bring your hands to your heart center, prayer twist. Turn your chest towards your right knee. Squeeze your inner thighs together. So after that kind of backward bending, twists to the spine are nice. Turn your chest, look up beyond your right elbow, squeeze your inner thighs together. If interested, tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee up. So your left leg now is fully extended in your lunge prayer twist. Good. Take your hands, place them down on the inside of your right leg, straighten your right leg, turn yourself over to the left. Grab your ankles, get a little bit more integrative here and pull yourself down and forward. So bring your elbows back towards your shins, lift your tailbone up into the air. Good. Roll the weight forward towards your toes. So notice how comfortable it is to hang out on your heel. Nothing the matter with that. But see if you can distribute the weight a little bit better across your foot by taking your body weight more towards the balls of your feet. And then pulling your chest through your legs. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, look forward. Good. So again, walking to your right foot, turn your right toes forward, bend your right knee. So here's our balance pose. Take your left knee, place it down on the floor, and slide your left knee right behind your right foot. Right? And then lift up into your low lunge here. It helps to kind of squeeze the groin a little, your inner thighs. If possible, reach your arms up over your head, maybe lean back a bit. It takes a lot of quivering strength to maintain this kind of balance. You want to feel your heel and your knee connecting as if you're on a bit of a tight rope. Well done. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Put your hands down and step back, lift up into your down dog. Yes. One vinyasa, inhale, breathing, plank pose. A little bit for the arms, chaturanga dandasana, lower down halfway. Roll over your toes, lift up into up dog, and then back to downward facing. Left leg lifts up into the air. Inhale, breathing, stretch the leg back. Lift your leg, really get all that space. Drop your chest a little lower to lift the leg a little higher. And then take your left foot, step it up in between your hands. Good. Bring your right knee down. Lift up. Low crescent lunge. Exhale, breathing, prayer twist. Hands to your heart. Turn and twist. Inner thighs towards each other. Good. Eye gaze beyond your left elbow, I guess. Keep your chest lifted. Don't collapse over your front leg. So your back is engaged as it's being twisted. Tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee up. Wow. So coming into a bit of a stronger lunge twist here, working into your left hip. Very nice. Wide-legged fold, last one. Place your hands down on the inside. Right, so yogi's choice. Right? Some of you can just as easily pop up into a headstand. Right? That's perfectly okay. Or you just might want to hang in your forward fold. Letting your elbows, maybe reaching for your elbows if that works for you. Or taking your legs out kind of super duper wide, kind of challenging the flexibility of your inner thighs. Just resting out in front of you really is a wonderful pose. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. Right. Let's collect ourselves. Place our hands back on the floor under the shoulders. Look forward. Walk them to your left foot. Turn your left toes forward. Back to the lunge. Place the right knee down. Slide the right knee all the way up behind your left heel. So you're a little compact there. And then squeeze. Lift yourself right up over your left foot. This side's a little harder for me, so I might not be the best example of what this balance can look like, but it's what my practice is for today. All right, as we work on our tightrope, maybe taking our arms up over our heads, lifting up through the chest, nice, reaching up through the fingertips, goodness. One more breath, nice. Downward facing dog, put your hands down and let's down dog it out of us. Right, bench. Let the head and the chest hang. Very nice. And then here we go. Place the knees down on the floor. Keep your toes tucked and lift yourself up to a kneeling position. So try a little camel pose. So the trick with camel, when you reach for your heels, is not to lean back to grab the heels. You actually want to take the hips forward, open up the whole side of the chest to reach the hand back. So take it one at a time. Just keep the integrity of the whole torso and hips being pressed forward. So just this little reach for the heels is fine for now. You want to establish the space in your hip flexors and across the chest and your shoulders. Push your pubic bone a little bit more forward. Lift your chest up a little higher. You can just lean the upper body back more. Keep your lower back pressed towards the front of your mat. Nice. And then very gently placing your hands on your low back, just lift yourself up out of this. Bring your legs together and sit down on your heels. Take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Place your left fingertips on the floor behind you. Give yourself a little twist. A little twist here. Nice. Other side. Take your left hand to the outside of your right leg. Turn and twist. Eye gaze goes back. Nice. And then come back forward. Okay. So let's take ourselves into a seated straddle. So position yourself wherever on your mat where you can comfortably open up your legs fairly wide. Right, I'm going for moderate today. Take your hands out in front of you and start to climb forward. Take your time. So we're going to be here about 2 minutes. So we've got plenty of time to get to our depth. And sometimes if we use most of that time not in our full expression, we can actually get a better stretch. Right? So when you feel your first point of resistance, hold it there for a bit. Let those muscles relax. Sometimes if we try and muscle past them, they'll just tighten up. Right. As the upper body comes forward, maybe eventually the elbows come down to the floor. It's a great stretch for your back. You're letting your head hang as well. Of course, propping up on your hands the whole time is not incorrect either. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We're halfway there. Soften something. Wherever it is you might feel it, and you know, for however many of us are doing this, it could be in different places in all of us. And that's probably where you need it. Poses really find our spots in our bodies. Let the head hang, let the chest hang. Last 3 breaths. Last breath. And then slowly, a nice stretch. Bring yourself up to a seat. Right. Take your hands on the outsides of your legs and back a little bit. Slowly bring your legs together and make your way onto your backs. Bringing your knees into your chest. Our last little hip stretch, happy baby pose. Lift your feet up, press your pelvis down, reach from the insides of your legs, spread the outsides of your feet. Your feet are too far away, you wind up lifting your hips too high up, then grab the calves or the ankles. Feel the pelvis, or excuse me, the sacrum press flat into the mat. And then let the weight of your arms and your chest and your shoulders all soften, pulling the knees down towards the hips. Taking your last little stretch into your hips. Nice. 2 more breaths here. You can even roll a little left and right, should that feel good. 1 more breath. And then gently place your feet down on the floor. Good. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Just kind of cinch it up. Reach your arms out to the side. Slide your hips over to the right and allow your knees to fall over to the left. Coming into a spine twist, a little hip stretch, outer right hip. Relax your belly and your back, and make sure your right shoulder stays on the floor. You can turn your head to the right or look up towards the ceiling. Soften your hips. Don't let the spine get all gnarly or tight. Just kind of let it relax into this stretch. One more breath here. Ouch. Yeah. So recenter your hips on your mat, uncross your legs. And we'll take it on the other side, cross your left leg over your right, just kind of let it flop over. Slide your hips over to the left, and then bring your knees over to the right. If the binding is too much, you can always, as I'm demonstrating, just stack your legs again. The binding does make it a little bit of a deeper stretch. It adds an element of hips, though. If that's not for you, just a simple dropping the knees over to the side is fine. Let your back relax. Let your belly relax. Put yourself into this sweet little twist. One more breath. And undo from that. All right. Extend our legs. We'll come into a bit of a deeper Shavasana experience. So we did quite a bit with the ground today. We'll get very deep into your body that way. And that sense of depth rings true even when we're relaxing. So relax deeply. Whether that's metaphorically or even just physically deep into your body. Allow your power to rest. That groundedness. Even soften your eyes with your eyes shut. Let the eyes themselves sink deeper into the sockets. Smooth out your breath and then forget about it. Take a few more moments here in stillness and now in silence. Take a bit of a deeper breath, fuller breath. Fill your lungs up to the top. Roll your head a tiny bit. Take your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms away from you. Stretch out your hands a bit. Point your toes. Let your body lengthen. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll a little along your low back. And then bring yourself up to a seat. Much like we took earlier. Sit up. Nice lightness. Right. Bodies. Join our hands together, bringing balance and a sense of oneness, wholeness to ourselves. Anjali Mudra, chin to your chest. Grateful for yet another class together and some more yoga. Thank you for showing up this morning and practicing, or tuning in at your own time and joining us in this practice anyway. Thank you for that as well. wonderful, wonderful weekend, everybody. I look forward to doing some more yoga with you next week. And until then, namaste. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. The salutation.